Hello, everyone. This is the Athos Business Optimization Podcast. On this podcast, I will dig through much of the nonsense we're sold to as business owners and entrepreneurs and give you my best advice for running a successful business. Whether you own a thriving business, a failing business, or even considering starting your very own business, no matter what it may be, I can take the principles and lessons that I've learned by owning my very own company and apply them to your endeavor. This is episode 4, and since I'm just starting this podcast, I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and add in some business news updates, possibly try it out daily, just to get my teeth cut in this podcasting world and broadcasting it and kind of talking to myself pretty much in front of the mic. There was really big news today that I'd thought to share with everybody, and everybody probably already is following it and knows about it. That's at least in the business world. Is Facebook's big $5 billion settlement to the U.S. Federal Trade Commission over the data privacy probe that they've had. Now, a lot of people are saying that it's not a large enough penalty for what they did. Especially with the Cambridge Analytica stuff and everything that came about that. I don't need to go over all that, what happened during that. Really what I wanted to touch on today about what Facebook did and other companies did or do when it comes to not being as ethical as they should be. You know, is it worth it in the long run? Is it worth it for them, for these companies, to do something that they know they're not supposed to be doing in order to make a profit? Whether that's like a short-term or a long-term profit. Another company that comes to mind, obviously, is Wells Fargo, when a lot of their employees were opening up bank accounts on their existing customers that they had not agreed to, inflating numbers. It said a lot of pressure was put on them by the managers to hit those numbers. And of course, the managers would get bonuses, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's the same story that goes on and on. A lot of pressure is on companies to keep on making money. So my question is it worth it? Obviously, these companies are gigantic. Facebook last year, they said, made $55 billion. So the $5 billion was really a slap on the wrist. I mean, that's a significant amount of money. And you could do a significant amount of things with that amount of money within a company, no matter what percentage of the money, that you're taking it away from, stuff like that. I mean, that's damaging. Obviously, how much of that $55 billion that they've made was from, the data breach and all that other stuff that happened with Facebook and selling data and et cetera, et cetera, So my question is, us being small business owners or big business owners or medium-sized business owners, is it worth it to turn our heads in the short term, ethically, knowing that what we might be doing is wrong in order to bring profit to the company, knowing that you might get away with it, but you might get caught? In terms of if a smaller or medium-sized company gets caught pulling this stuff, I mean, forget about it. You are done. Especially if you've been working for your company, building up your company for, how long, and you get desperate, you get some pressures to bring in some money, quick money, fast, and you get busted, I mean, it's pretty much over for you. Maybe you have an insurance policy to pick up a lot of what you did, but, forget about it. You're a small business. The trust within your community, the trust within, the people that you sell to, the other companies, et cetera, is broken. It's just not worth it. Don't give up your ethical standards for that short-term money, especially if you're a smaller business or a medium-sized business. When it all comes around, it's going to bite you in the butt. Don't do it. As intriguing and appealing it is to think of all that easy money you can make, just don't do it. Earn your money through your business the hard way, the way it's supposed to be done. I mean, maybe you find some like shortcuts here and there that can bring in some extra revenue to your business. Just make sure they're the up and up, because eventually it'll come and bite you in the butt. Even if maybe after you sell your business, someone might still come after you. So just don't do it. That short-term amount of money, might be nice and comfortable, and you might buy a nice new car or a house, but just it'll come around and bite you in the butt at the end. So I know this was like a all over the place kind of a podcast that I did today, but I just wanted to give a brief discussion on like the ethics and having running like an ethical business, and what these larger companies do to their customers, and they're able to get away with it because they're so freaking gigantic. They're so big. I mean, even look at the bailouts that happened. All these companies were just doing something bad and wrong, and there's a lot of them are still here because they were too big to fail. And when you bail a company out like that, what's going to happen? They're just they're gonna, once they get a chance to get back to it, they're going to do it again, because those people that run the company, it's not like this big, huge, like omnibus, like corporation that's like heartless. It's people. The people are running the corporation at its core, and people are flawed. And when they're in a position of power, great power, they want more power. It's going to happen every single time. So you have to keep an eye on them. From that standard. And I just read probably about like 30 minutes ago that the FTC is going after Facebook and Google now for their antitrust, and how gigantic they've gotten. I'm sure they offer amazing services for their customers. Obviously, if competition comes up, like any reasonable competition comes up against any one of those, they absolutely smash them and they buy them. There is no chance for anybody to grow in this market. So in my opinion, yeah, they're too darn big. They're gigantic and powerful, kind of like a runaway locomotive. But my question is, you're going to break up Facebook and Google into like all these separate companies. I'm curious how they would even do that. And I'm curious if they're going to be able to beat those companies when it comes down to it. Anyways, that was my rant. I know it wasn't exactly like my other ones, and I'm trying to get better at this podcast thing. I appreciate you guys listening. I just got everything okayed with a lot of the podcast hosts, so I hope you guys are listening to this. Make sure to subscribe to my RSS feed. You could go to my website, athos.com. There I post all the blogs, which I'm kind of using like the blogs as a base for my podcast right now. This one I'm not. This one's off of the hip. Just trying my rambling skills. I hope I didn't drive you guys crazy. Athos.com / blog, or just go to athos.com. And you can see the different things I got on there. Right now, I don't have my for hire thing on my pay for services yet. Actually, I did have it up. I had to take it down. I just had a little bit too much clients, and I wanted to pay enough attention to them. But I should be reopening it. So if anybody's interested in that, you can email me, jason@athos.com. That's my email. If you want to reach out to me on social media, it's Jason _St. Clair. And that's on Instagram. Big Facebook, look, another one that they own. You can send me a DM. I got some other, on Twitter and stuff, but I don't really check it out. And Facebook more like my personal one. So reach out to me on Instagram. I haven't really updated anything on there. I should get on it. Once again, this is Jason with the Athos Business Optimization Podcast. Try to stay ethical out there, people. I know it's hard and the competition's tough, but just try to do your customers right. Thanks for listening.